We will now have a question-answer session with Mr. Shaktikanta Das, and those who wish to ask questions, please raise your hands and call for the mics from the attendant. You're requested to announce your name before putting forth your question, but the time available for the Q&A session is very short, so only 2 questions will be taken. We'll be happy to accommodate this, but please do not make elaborate comments. Keep your statement short.
Good evening. My name is Pankaj Sampath. I was tremendously impressed with your example of the milk producer and the farmer. I mean, bringing that segment of the population into the formal economy is going to be a game changer. Now, while you were explaining the modalities of how the platform works, I have a small question. Did the exercise show him, the milk producer, what rate of interest will be charged and what he is letting himself in for the repayment? I mean, does it give him an idea of how that is going to go about? Does the platform do that?
Yes. Yes. In fact, when he applies, it's displayed that this is the rate of interest. All that details, he gets it. It's not as if blindly he takes the loan. All that is provided. Yes.
This side, right side. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. First of all, my congratulations on the honor conferred upon you on this historic day. Sir, my question is twofold. One is, for the past monetary years, we've seen you have been maintaining CRR at a same rate without making any changes, increasing or decreasing. That is one. Second thing, those who have taken loans are committing suicide, and many charges are levied against the loan providers for aiding and abetting. How do we cope with this?
You see, with regard to the interest rates, we have to always remember that we have to look at the real interest rates. Please sit down. When you have low inflation, you can have low interest rates, because the real rate is, obviously the real rate would be the rate of interest plus the inflation. That is the real rate which the borrower is paying. When you have high inflation of let's say 6%, which we had for several months together, and if you keep the interest rate at 4%, the interest rates are, by and large speaking, it's negative. So the depositor, so far as the depositor is concerned, and we have large number of small depositors, middle class people, lower sections of the society, retired people. So the depositor gets a negative rate of interest. So therefore, interest rates are always based on the rate of inflation. If inflation goes down, you can always have lower interest rates. So therefore, increase in interest rates is basically a response to high inflation to give a reasonable return to the depositors, and that also and primarily to control, to bring down inflation. Now, with regard to, so therefore, when we increase naturally the rates had to be increased because your inflation is high, and so naturally it will be passed on to the borrower. And you have to increase interest rates. Apart from the fact that you have to bring down inflation, you have to ensure that the depositors also get some real return. That is, very often it is forgotten that there is a depositor whose money is actually the supporting base for any bank. Now, with regard to complaints, etc., we do get a lot of complaints, but and we have also mandated now every bank to have internal ombudsman. And there are still sort of complaints coming up. They do come up. They go to the banks. Complaints come to the RBI also. And the banks have now internal ombudsmen. And in RBI, we have launched this integrated ombudsman scheme also. you have to first give your complaint to the bank itself. The bank is expected to resolve your grievance in 30 days. If you are not satisfied with the resolution given by the bank, or if the bank does not resolve your problem in 30 days, after 30 days you can file your complaint with the Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman, and it is all online. Even you can post a letter, the letter will go to our centralized processing center, and there somebody will, sort of key it in and put it into the system. But online you can do that. Use the, the CMS portal of RBI and file your complaint. Then you can track your complaint, how it is moving. So we are giving now a lot of emphasis on customer grievance redress. In fact, in my interaction with the bank CEOs, many bank CEOs, both public and private sector banks, customer grievance redress is something which we constantly emphasize. And the banks are also, I must say that the banks have now their internal ombudsmen, and who are also addressing this issue for a faster resolution of customer grievances.
One last question.
Sir, Rajalakshmi Rao here. Excellent report that you have given about inclusiveness and for the farmers' loans. It's very, very nice to hear this. I want to know, in your pilot project, which is coming up for SMEs, do you have anything for women? Because now today women are inclusive in doing business, and for them, any projects which are coming up for loans, and if there is anything that comes up like how you've done UPI, which is very popular, is anything coming up? But that's what I want to know for women empowerment.
No, specifically for women, this particular scheme is designed, it is open access for all. But yes, we do sort of, we have a major financial inclusion program now. And we have targeted, and this is something we launched 3 years ago, that by March next year, every block in India will have a CFL, a Center for Financial Literacy, every block. And these centers are operated by the NGOs, and the NGOs are selected by the SLBCs, the State Level Bankers Committee. They play a major important role in that. So they are supposed to do a focus on financial inclusion and this Center for Financial Literacy. They are supposed to focus on financial literacy and financial inclusion. So through the banking channel and through this NGO channel, we are trying to promote financial inclusion. But this particular initiative of frictionless credit, it's for all. And there is no sort of differentiation. There is no special scheme as such for women in this particular scheme. And that's it. That's what I would like to say.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.